Yo there, YouTube. Today we are watching his story. So I've never even heard of this YouTube channel, and then I realised that it absolutely blew up. So I thought, why not make a video, a video of me watching it. So we're basically just gonna watch it and, see why it's so good. So let's start with the latest video.
My daughter fell into the
Bro, no, what the hell? This video has just started and it's came up with the most depressing thing ever. What the hell, bro?
Mississippi River. But before I could even jump in to save her, a huge Newfoundland was already drowned.
What? A Newfoundland? What kind of human would name a dog Newfoundland? Just call it a dog, bro. What the flip is a Newfoundland? Jeez, bro.
Dragging her out. I immediately
W-dog, W-O. Look at his face. Look where I've just paused it on his face. What the hell?
It over as he hauled her onto the bank by her coat, and my hands were shaking as I held her, because that current was strong enough to pull grown men under, and my daughter
W-dog,
was only 6. You saved my daughter's life. You're coming with us, boy. The second we got home, I threw him the biggest steak in my fridge.
The biggest steak in his fridge.
And he grabbed it in his teeth.
Yo, I thought he was gonna choke. No, dude.
Then bolted out the door, and I figured we'd never see him again. But the next day, we were on a walk when I spotted another kid drowning in the Mississippi.
What the hell? So, why are the kids drowning in the Mississippi Sea?
Exact same spot my daughter was yesterday. As soon as a crowd formed, the same dog sprinted in out of nowhere and saved the day. I raised an eyebrow and turned to my wife. Isn't it a little strange that this happened 2 days in a
Yeah, coincidences.
row? She put her hands on her hips. How dare you question a
Oh, wife is getting angry. Chill out. Take a chill pill, wife.
hero? But a week later, the 7th kid was drowning in the Mississippi River, and it was the 7th day in a row that the dog dragged the kid out and enjoyed his steak afterwards. I furrowed my eyebrows because no one had drowned in that river for 10 years, and now it was happening every single day. So one morning, I hid behind the boathouse and
It's either these kids are just daft or thick, or the dog is just pushing him in the river and then just eating steak.
spied on him, and for 4 hours, he just slept in the sun, until I saw my wife come down the path with our daughter. The second she stopped to greet a neighbor, our daughter started chasing a pigeon, heading straight toward the bank. The dog instantly started running towards my daughter and knocked her.
What the hell? Why has the dog just knocked the daughter in the river? What the flipping heck? So the dad must have saw that then. Yeah, I was right about my theory, thinking it's either the kids are just thick and daft, or the dog has just kicked all the kids in the river and then just saved them after, just demanding for steak.
Into the water. I instantly shot up, and as soon as the dog saw
Valid crash out.
me, he ran into the water, grabbed my daughter by the collar, and dragged her to the side where she...
And then after they've done that to the kids, he just goes up to the owners and just think, oh, give
coughed
me
up
steak.
water. I gasped, and the dog
Poor daughter, bro. Justice for the daughter.
wagged his tail with his mouth wide open, already waiting for his steak.
Nah, that is messed
The
up.
color drained from my face because I couldn't believe it. He was never
That is messed
saving
up.
anyone. He was pushing kids in the water and then
What
saving
the
them
flip?
because he knew someone would hand him a steak afterwards. And I handed him the very first one. That night there was a scratch at my door, and the dog was sitting on my steps.
Bro.
My daughter fell into the Mississippi. Couldn't believe it. He was neck afterwards, and I handed him the very first one. That night there was a scratch at my door, and the dog was sitting on my step, still waiting for his reward. My dog.
Bro, it left us on a cliffhanger. Like, at least tell us what happened, bro. So basically, nah, you don't want a summary. So the dog just pushed kids in the river, and then he basically wanted steak to eat. Oh, that is so messed up for a dog. For a Newfoundland.
I was in the wheelchair accessible area of...
What? So you're disabled only in this shot?
My daughter
Yeah, you're
fell
not
into
disabled
I
here,
was in the
mate.
wheelchair accessible area of the concert, enjoying the show, when a man without a wheelchair stopped in front of me. His back was turned to me,
VIP.
so I tapped his shoulder. Can you move, please? I can't see over you, but he bent down and laughed in my face.
Oh, that is so sad, bro. That is actually so sad. Ah, that is so sad. Something just dropped, and then that's why I exclaimed. That is so sad, bro. Yeah, but who? No, yeah, let's just carry on.
Nope, I can't see over anyone in the general section, but nobody here blocks my view. But you're blocking my view, I replied. And
Exactly.
he instantly flipped his VIP lanyard up. Okay.
Who gives a flip if you're VIP, man? Get the hell out of here. I'm gonna smack the hell out of you, stupid VIP idiot.
Then do something about it. This event organizer is my dad. He laughed and turned back, standing even closer
Yeah, well, flip you, Dad.
to me, so I couldn't see a thing except his Gucci suit. My hands tightened because I'd saved 6 months for these tickets,
W.
having waited 5
W.
years for this band to come to my city. They announced they'd be playing my favorite song next, and my chest went cold. Can you move for just this song? Just this one? I've been dreaming to see it live, but he wouldn't even turn back this time. No, this one's my favorite. I tried to wheel around him to see the song, but the row was too packed to move, and that's when my wheel
Wow,
bumped
what
his
the hell
hip.
is a row? What the hell is a row? Row. Whoa, what the hell?
Instantly spun around, suddenly red in the face. Touch me one more
Ah,
time and my
you
dad will
idiot.
sue you.
Did you just hear what I think I heard? Touch me one more time.
So hard you'll have to sell that little transportation device just to pay him back. My chest
Nah, transportation device. Are you so thick and daft in the head? Yeah, I'm gonna use thick and daft for all this video. Are you so thick and daft in the head? Why the hell would he call it a transportation device? Stupid VIP, but just call it a wheelchair.
burning as he kicked my wheelchair hard enough to
What? Yo, chill with the violence. Chill with the violence.
I waved over the security guard. He stormed over. What's going on? But the man just held his lanyard up. The event organizer's my dad. Get him if you want to talk to me. The security guard looked at me, then simply walked away, and my heart shattered while everyone around me screamed the words to my favorite song. I was now nearly in tears, still staring at the man's back, when suddenly a man in a suit walked over. What's going on, son?
Dad.
My eyes widened, realizing this was the dad. The man pointed down at me. Tell him to stop complaining. I'm trying to watch the show. I opened my mouth to explain, but the dad interrupted. Son, would you mind pressing that button on your wheelchair? I stared up at him, confused, but he nodded. Press it. So I did. My chair drove straight into his son's hip, and he screamed and
Ha 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 ha, you idiot! Wait, idiot! Look at his face, you fat idiot.
fell. Dad, why did you tell him to do that?
Lol, because you don't care about you, fatherless idiot.
His dad stood over him. Since you want to watch the show from down here, you should meet the qualifications. He pressed the button on my chair for me again, driving me into his son's foot again while he screamed in pain. The next song started, and I watched the band over the top of him. Now he was the one who couldn't see over me. I was in the wheel.
Yay! That's what you get, you fatherless rat.
As soon as my dad's lawyer said his will left everything to me, I heard my brother George's hands slam against the table.
Yo.
I was
So are we
walking
in a
home
courtroom
as
now?
soon as my
Wait.
dad's lawyer said his will left everything
Yeah,
to
we're in
me.
a
I heard my
courtroom.
brother George's hands slam against the table. That's insane. He only did that because Ryan made him feel bad by faking being blind.
Did what?
My throat closed up because I lost my eyesight 8 years ago in a car accident. You know that's not true. I heard his chair scrape back and the door open. I'm going to prove you aren't blind in court, and I'm taking every penny when I do. I turned towards him. George, wait! But the door slammed behind him. A week later, I found myself sitting in a courtroom while George's lawyer stood at the front and presented their case to the judge. Your Honor, we have proof the defendant isn't blind at all. Papers shuffled at their table.
He looks exactly blind though. Because look at his eyes in this. Where is it? Here, look. He looks exactly blind, doesn't he? Because his eyeballs are like back, aren't they?
And presented their case to the judge. Your Honor, we have proof the defendant isn't blind at all. Papers shuffled at
Alright, Eggman. Let's see, Eggman.
their table. We have a video of him reacting to things nobody would notice without their sight. The judge's chair creaked as she leaned forward. Go on. I heard a laptop click open. Watch closely, Your Honor. In this video, he turns his head every time a car passes. George cut in, his voice smug. And he's been faking it for 8 years just to guilt our father. The judge turned her attention to me. Ryan, can you explain the head movement? My mouth went dry as I turned towards her voice. Blind people turn towards sound. That's hearing, not seeing. The judge stayed quiet, and my chest went tight because it felt like she might might actually believe George over me. Dad's lawyer finally stood up. Your Honor, before this goes any further, I need to show the court a video my client's father recorded before he died. I heard George's breath catch beside me. Then a laptop clicked open, and Dad's voice filled the courtroom. If you're watching this, George is trying to take my will to court. I left everything to Ryan because he was the only one who visited without asking for money. George, I know you stole over $200,000 from me over the last 10 years.
What? £200,000? Oh yeah, I'm in the UK, so pretend we're in America. $200,000. Jeez, bro. Jeez. $200,000 is a lot.
Have every bank record and every excuse you gave the accountant, so you get nothing. Nobody spoke until the judge cleared her throat. I think we're done here. This case is dismissed. I heard George's chair scrape back hard, and this time nobody tried to stop him from storming out. As soon as my dad's lawyer said I was walking home from basketball practice when a car slammed into my body.
Whoa, oh my God! Whoa! Are you okay, bro? What the flip? Yeah, no wonder you were disabled and blind. What the flip? That must be the car accident. Oh my God.
And I felt a sickening crunch shoot down my legs.
Oh my God.
Screamed because my legs bent the wrong way, and the woman who hit me jumped out, panicking. This is so bad, I have to do something. Then, instead of calling an ambulance, she grabbed me under the arms and dragged me across the pavement, my ruined legs aching with pain. Wait, don't touch me. I need proper help, but she shoved me into her back seat. Just stay quiet. I'll take you myself. Something was wrong, and as she sped off, I prayed she hadn't just cost me my legs forever. But moments later, she flew past the giant blue hospital sign without slowing down, and my heart stopped. The hospital was right there. Turn around, but she gripped the wheel tighter. I can't take you there. My insurance can't handle another accident. I'll lose everything. I gasped. She wasn't helping me. She was saving herself. Please, I can't feel my legs anymore. But she put her hand up. I'll buy you a new basketball, okay? Just shut up.
What? Are you okay? Why the flip would you buy him a new basketball? Thinking it would make his... Thinking it would make his legs better. Woman, I'm sorry, are you daft and thick in the head, you fat thicko?
Clenched my fists, staring down at my grey legs as the numbness crawled past...
No, I think I should skip this. No, let's not skip it.
My knees and felt 10 years of basketball dreams slip away. But then I spotted a cop car 2 lanes over, and I knew I had to do something. So I lunged forward and yanked the wheel with everything I had. Get off! She shrieked, clawing at my arms. But I held on as the car screeched sideways and blue lights flashed on behind us. Relief flooded me until she shoved my head below the window, forced a smile, and rolled hers down. Sorry, officer. My brother's having a medical episode. I'm rushing him to the hospital. I saw the officer nod, telling her to have a good night, and my heart sank. So I threw myself up at the window and screamed, "She hit me with her car and kidnapped me. Look at my legs." The officer paused, and his face went cold when he saw my legs, gray and soaked in blood. Hold on, ma'am. You said you're taking him to the hospital, but the hospital is back that way? She panicked, her lie slipping. But the officer was already yanking her out of the car and slapping cuffs on her wrists. I don't care. I can't afford a higher insurance bill, she screamed as they pinned her.
Get more money and maybe get a better job.
The hood as the ambulance loaded me on, and I begged the paramedics to save my legs. But at the hospital, the doctor had to amputate my legs. But the suit I won from the accident bought me a pair of robotic ones. I'll never make it to the NBA, but now I dunk on the legs she paid for. I was walking home.
Oh, that is so good. Happy ending, at least. Happy ending. It always has a happy ending. I'm liking that.
I pushed my girlfriend down the water slide and she screamed, "Wee! I'm so happy you took me to this vacation
What the
resort." I smiled because I was glad we were on vacation to work on our relationship together. But just as she reached the bottom, a dozen men with rifles were pouring out of the...
What the hell? Yo, what? This ain't Call of Duty or GTA.
Palm trees and red laser dots were all over our bodies. I instantly ran to the bottom of the slide and grabbed her into the cave so we could survive the ambush, and I had no idea if we were going to survive. Flashlights swept past the entrance, so I clamped my hand over her sobs, but nobody was shooting, which made me more scared because it meant they wanted us alive for something very, very bad.
Oh no.
She peeled my hand off her mouth. This might be the last time we're alive enough to see each other. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the fights I started, the cheating, the money I took. I didn't want us to die angry at each other. So I pressed my forehead to hers and nodded. You made a lot of mistakes, but we love each other, and that's all that matters. But before she could respond, the men surrounded us with rifles. We found you. I held her tighter, but she stood up with her arms out. For a second, I thought she was going to take a bullet from me. But that's when every gunman lowered their rifles and screamed, "Congratulations!" A confetti cannon popped off over their heads. My heart was still...
Bro, what the heck? That is probably the most sickest, idiotic way to say congratulations. Oh my god.
Pounding with adrenaline, and I was extremely confused. But my girlfriend looked up at me like she was the smartest girl in the world. I planned out this whole thing, baby. The guns, the chase, everything. Because I needed you to see that when we thought it was...
I bet a real whoa, no.
I pushed my girl...
And then I bet a real ambush is gonna come and then kill him all. No, I'm joking.
An island, so I'd stop wanting to leave her. I stood up and stepped past her open arms. You cheated on me multiple times. You stole money from me, and you just made me think I was about to be killed. We're done. The gunman went...
Oh.
Silent, and they walked me to their boat, and watching the island shrink behind us was the calmest I'd felt in a year. I pushed my girl...
What the hell? What the flip? Every story has an happy ending, eh? Oh my god. Bro just left the island. What the heck, bro? That was just crazy.
My mom is here. You have to hide. I was rehearsing my proposal speech in the bathroom mirror when my girlfriend, Danielle...
How many girlfriends do you have?
Burst in, grabbed my arm, and pulled me into the bedroom. I clenched the ring in my fist, praying she hadn't seen it yet. "Get behind the bed," Danielle whispered, shoving me behind her Murphy bed. She pushed the bed up until it clicked shut when her mom's voice floated in. "Danielle, honey, where are you?" I stood wedged behind the bed, not daring to move, the ring pressed flat against my palm, because if her mom found me like this, the proposal I'd been planning for months was over before it started. I heard her mom's footsteps enter the room, stopping in front of my hiding spot. "Why does it smell like cologne in here? Is that
cologne? That must be very strong."
"Worthless boyfriend of yours here?" I bit my tongue to keep from arguing. "No, Mom, he's not here," Danielle said, too fast. Her mom sniffed, scanning the room like she didn't believe her. "Good," she said. "I don't know what you see in him." My legs were cramping, but I didn't dare shift my weight. Danielle tried steering her toward the kitchen.
She looks more broke than him, to be honest.
But her mom stopped in front of the bed, close enough that I could hear her breathing on the other side. "He'll never be ready for marriage," she told Danielle. "Some men just aren't built for it." Every word stung because marrying Danielle was the only thing I'd ever been sure of. My hands were sweating, so my grip on the ring started slipping, and I squeezed it harder. "I'll leave you alone now, but I want you to think about what I said." The tension left my shoulders as her mom's voice retreated, but the ring slipped from my palm, and I lunged for it without thinking, the sudden movement knocking the bed loose. The bed swung open and landed with a thud, spitting me out onto the mattress.
You idiot!
Panic flooding in as I watched the ring roll toward her mom's shoe. She bent down, picked it up, and examined it. Nobody moved for a second. Then I blurted it out. "Danielle, will you marry me?" Danielle stood wide-eyed with her hands over her mouth, but before she could respond, her mom's voice cut the silence. "You hid behind a bed to propose to my daughter." Danielle started crying, then snatched the ring from her mom's hand. "Yes." Her mom raised an eyebrow and shook her head. "Any man who'd hide behind a bed for you," she said. "Maybe he's more ready than I thought." It was the closest to approval she'd...
I'm sorry, but what the flip was the hand sign? What the flip? Oh, yeah, that's nothing, isn't it? It's fine. Yeah, it's just a hand sign. Yeah, what the flip, bro? Get the hell off my screen.
I was swinging at the park when my mom's phone slipped out of my...
Why do you have your mom's phone in your hand, you idiot?
Back pocket, and the three biggest bullies snatched it before I could grab it. They've tormented me since kindergarten, and now they dangled it.
Oh my god, tormented me is a bit strong, if you ask me.
Over my head. "Want your mommy's phone back?" One of them pointed across the lot at a group of cops eating from a box of donuts on their car hood. "Then go steal those donuts for us." He rubbed his belly. "Papa's hungry." They whipped out their phones to record me, but I couldn't lose my mom's phone, so my legs shook toward the cops, praying I wouldn't get arrested. I snuck up behind the cop car, close enough to smell the vanilla and chocolate frosting, and my fingers grazed the box, relief flooding.
They're probably gonna scam.
over me because this was easy. But then a cop slid it farther down the hood, way out of reach, and my hands started shaking. I looked back, and the bullies were recording and cackling while the whole park stared. Everything in me wanted to run, but my mom worked double shifts for that phone. So I rose onto my toes, sucked in a breath, and grabbed the box. I turned to bolt with a grin, but a huge palm dropped onto my head, stopping me cold. I spun around to a donut-loving cop towering over me, crumbs falling
Wait, I don't. What the hell? Oh, cool.
from his lips onto my face. Are you stealing from a cop, young man? The other cops crossed their arms behind him. I was frozen, and his hand went to his cuffs. You're coming with me, son. Tears spilled down my face, because I'd never stolen anything in my life, but I did it for my mom. The bullies howled across the lot, and I dropped my head, sure I was going to jail. The cop marched me across the lot, but when I lifted my head, he'd stopped me right in front of the bullies. I stood there confused, until he pointed at the three of them. You're all under arrest for theft and bullying. Their laughter died as he snatched the phones from their hands.
I mean,
And
you wouldn't get arrested for bullying unless it was like really, really bad. And then you end up murdering.
just filmed yourselves committing a crime. These are evidence now. They started crying, but the cop shushed them. Now give this boy his phone back before I add
Exactly,
robbery
of
to your
course
charges.
it's stolen.
They shoved my mom's phone. I was sitting next to the fire with my friend Dean deep in the Appalachian Mountains
Dean.
when we heard a baby crying somewhere past the tree line. He immediately jumped up and I grabbed his arm. Don't. My uncle told me if you hear something like that out here, you don't look or answer. You have to pretend
Whoa.
you never heard it. Dean stared at me like I'd lost it, but he sat back down. I didn't tell him that my uncle also said the ones who don't listen never come back the same. The crying got closer, and Dean gripped his knees so hard his knuckles went white. I can't just sit here. I've got a daughter at home. What if it was her? I shook my head. It's not a real baby. Not out here. The crying stopped dead, then started again a few feet closer. Dean stood up and grabbed the flashlight. I'm going to check. I can't just do nothing. I grabbed his sleeve, but he shook me off, walking straight toward the sound. Dean, stop. He didn't turn around, and 30 seconds later, my heart sank because I couldn't see his flashlight anymore. I sat frozen at the fire for what felt like an hour before I heard footsteps coming back through the brush. Dean stepped into the firelight, smiling like nothing had happened. False alarm, man. I guess we were just hearing things. Every word came out flat, like he was talking without breathing at all, and I realized this thing wasn't Dean. I grabbed my knife off the log beside me and backed away
what
from
the
the fire.
hell?
Get away from me. The thing wearing Dean's face tilted its head all the way to one side, farther than a neck should bend, and the sound of the baby's cry came out of its mouth. It lunged
No, we should not watch this, guys.
Would you
I'm
ra-
sorry.
I pulled a
am
metal water
sorry,
bottle.
guys.
from my bag.
I am so sorry. Honestly, I'm genuinely sorry. Please, you can dislike this video if you want. I'm so sorry.
And chucked it at the teacher across the hallway, praying it would hit her. Earlier that day, I pulled a metal water bottle from my bag and chucked it at the teacher across the hallway, praying it would hit her. Earlier that day, I'd accidentally dumped my lunch tray on the biggest senior in school, and he told me he'd be waiting for me after school to beat me up. So I was trying to get detention
They beat you up at school. Oh yeah, that's what they did in the olden times.
to
Oh my
avoid
God,
him.
but
The water bottle
nowadays-
cracked Ms. Okafor in her back, and she spun around. Oh my God! I braced for screaming and detention, but she shook my hand. Thank you so much. That popped my hip back into place. I haven't felt it pain-free in years. She walked off smiling, and when I looked over, Brad was looking at me clutching his knuckles. When I saw the principal round the corner, I tried pulling the fire alarm. He looked at my hand on the lever. Did you set this off? I said yes, thinking this was definitely detention, but he grabbed my shoulders. You're a hero, son. The toaster in the teacher's lounge is on fire. We need to evacuate. The whole school instantly spilled
What?
onto the campus, and Brad walked over next to me. At 3 o'clock, I'm bringing a knife. My hands shook in fear and frustration because how hard was it to get detention? We started walking back inside because the building was safe, and that's when I stuck my leg out. My teacher face planted in front of our whole class, then looked right at me. Extra homework! I grabbed my head and threw my arms in the air. Can I please have detention instead? But she crossed her arms. No, Brad wants to whoop your ah, and I'm not gonna stop him.
Oh, what the hell? What? Why? You want just please like and subscribe.